Good afternoon, Irene. Thank you for agreeing to take part in Under the Spotlight.
You're very welcome.
Great to have you on board. Have you got a cup of tea first?
I have a drink.
You see now?
Yes,
right, okay. Right, we'll dive straight in. First of all, the bits and bobs that I've found out about you. You're married to Herschel, is that how you pronounce it, yeah?
Yes, it is. Very well done.
Okay. You're a Libra.
I am.
And you like
12th of October.
Yeah, and you like going on long walks. You've been a director of Bay Tiger Limited for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Office manager of Glenstone for 28 years.
That's my husband's business.
I think you work with Herschel there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've also been an accountant, a social housing manager, and a BDM in the school.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I wear a lot of hats. I wear an awful lot of hats.
I was going to say, have I missed anything out, or have we got most of it?
I'm a mum. That's probably my most important role, my most fulfilling role. I love being a mum. Oh,
bless you. Right. Let's get started. This is the way that it goes. What I'll do is I'll ask you a series of kind of like fact-finding questions all about you, what you do, what makes you tick. But firstly, I'll warm you up with 5 random quick-fire questions, just for a bit of fun, just to get us going, and then followed by 5 more at the end. That's okay.
Okay.
Right, here we go. First of all, what did you want to do? What did you want to do when you were a little girl? What was your?
I always wanted to be a teacher. I had it set in my heart that I was going to be a teacher from young. And then I did my work experience in the primary school that I went to. I absolutely loved it. The only trouble was I wasn't academically smart enough to get to teacher training college, which you had to do when I was that age. So I've done it in other ways. So I've done teaching in different ways and educating, etc. But and I've worked in a school as well. I work part-time sometimes in a school now, and I couldn't do what teachers do. So in some ways, I'm quite pleased that I didn't fulfill that role, and I found that fulfillment in teaching in different ways.
Okay, if you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be and why?
This is going to sound really soppy, but I would just spend it with Herschel and our son Caden, probably down at the beach somewhere. It doesn't matter to me where it is, as long I don't care where I am. If I'm with the pair of them, then I'm very happy. So, very simple answer.
That sums you up. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Right, do you read?
I do read.
Favourite author? Do you have one or not?
Yeah, I do. Fictional favourite author is Jojo Moyes. I love anything to do from her. Famous non-fiction would be Daniel Priestley. I could read his stuff inside out, back to front every single day. I think it's fantastic.
Go on, give us your favourite book.
24 Assets at the moment. I've read that several times. Highly recommended. If you haven't thought about putting digital assets into your business, or how your business should have digital assets in it, then you need to definitely read 24 Assets, Daniel Priestley.
I'll have a look at that one. I'm looking for Christmas presents at the moment.
Oh, it's a great book. I've listened to it several times. I have it on my phone. I listen to it in the car. I've read it as well, and still I'm learning new things from it. So yeah.
If you could eat just one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Salad.
Really?
Yeah, I love salad. I love salad, and every single meal, maybe apart from Christmas Day, but if every single meal was salad, I would be so happy. Nobody
likes salad. What do you do to a salad that makes it so interesting?
I love leaves. So I love salad leaves of any sort, and I love things like if you cut up butternut squash and roast it and put it so it becomes a warm salad. Cold potatoes and salad leaves. Oh, love it. A bit of balsamic vinegar and salt. Perfect.
What is the best, last one for the first 5, what's the best gift that you've ever been given?
Our son.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, because we didn't think we would ever have kids, and then when we thought that we would, nothing happened, and then I suffered loads of miscarriages, and he popped along when we just thought, okay, let's give up now. And I had miscarriages after, so you know, he's a bit of a miracle baby, so definitely the best gift we've ever received. He's 15. Okay. I have to remind myself that he is a real gift now because he's 15, you know, he's a teenager. But yeah, definitely the best gift I've ever received. Lovely.
Right, let's get started with a bit of fact finding about you then. So in less than 5 minutes, I've got a little bell, I think. I see it somewhere. I can't find it. Anyway, tell me a little bit about yourself in 5 minutes, like your background, where you've come from and what you do now.
Okay, so at the moment I live in Kent in the southeast, and I run my own internet marketing company. As you've already previously said, I trained as an accountant, and I'm probably what you would call a bit of an accidental entrepreneur. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago I think it was, I was laid up in bed after an operation and thought, okay, what do I do? I'm not going to be moving anywhere for 6 weeks. So I started to understand and learn a little bit about LinkedIn, and fell in love with it. And then once I was out moving around again, we started going to some property meetings, and I started telling people about what they should be doing. And a friend of ours pulled me aside and said, right, you shut up now, because you're giving away too much information and people charge for this sort of information. And that's what made me think, well, maybe I could run my own business and earn some money doing this and help people. And so it started from there, and then I started learning some skills, and then built a team around me and built up my own internet marketing agency. So 3 years ago, that wasn't even on the radar. I didn't even think that I would run my own business, and now I'm doing that and helping. I've always helped my husband run his business, but to have my own business, it's been a fantastic challenge. Along the way, I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed meeting people like yourself, helping people be visible by creating short information videos and other ways of helping you be visible. Yeah, and I just love meeting people and interacting with them. And for me, this lockdown period has been fantastic in the first lockdown, because you know, I wouldn't have met you, I wouldn't have met other people. My network has expanded globally, so now I'm networking and working with people on an international level. So it's been fantastic for me. I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm from an accountant's point of view. I love anything that's very detailed based, and that's why I love doing my internet marketing stuff, because you get to the nitty gritty of what people are trying to achieve with their marketing. Yeah, and I love everything about it. So
yeah, you've also, do you bring all your experiences into what you're doing now as well?
Yes, because I'm quite detail orientated, so I can, rather than just people thinking, okay, well, I just want to have a marketing campaign, when I'm actually drilling right down. So, okay, well, what is it you want to achieve? Let's get to what's your end goal first of all, and let's work backwards. I know other people do it differently, but that's how I do it, because from an accountant's point of view, you're always looking at the bottom figures. Yeah. And how are you going to achieve that? If you have an exit strategy, how are you going to achieve that? Blah, blah, blah. So I tend to bring that a lot into what I'm doing for my marketing campaigns when I'm working with people. And they seem to like that sort of level of detail as well. And even if they don't, I still do it because I can't help it. That's part of who I am and how I work, that you have to make sure all your ducks are lined up, because if they're not, then something's going to happen, something's going to fall down, and then that makes me look silly, and it makes me look as if I haven't been able to help you properly. And that's not what I'm about. I'd rather give 150% and you think, oh, well, she's only given me 70%. But I know that I've delivered much more than that. So I'd rather over deliver than not. And I think that the way that my accountancy background taught me, I was taught by somebody I started as a bookkeeper and then trained to be an accountant, and she taught me really old school. And I think that those ways of teaching people how to, first of all, listen to your client, understand what it is that they're about first of all. Don't try and jump in with the solution straight away. Get to the bottom of who they are and what they're about first of all, and then you understand how you can help them, and you build that relationship with them. You build up that trust relationship, which is so important.
Okay, so you've been a professional for over 30 years. We shan't say exactly how many, but for over 30 years. And you've had some interesting roles. So I'd like to know some of your highs and some of your lows. What's your greatest experience so far? And maybe the one thing that you would change. What would you do differently?
I probably wouldn't have stayed in some of the positions that I stayed in for a long time. I'm quite loyal. So some of my jobs that I've had in the past, I've stayed for, I don't think I've stayed in a job less than 7 years. And some places I probably should have moved on. Had a little bit more courage to think, actually, there's another position better out there for me. So I'd probably change that. What was the first thing you said? Sorry.
Yeah, what's your highs and your your greatest experience? What's the best thing that's happened so far?
I think being able to, through my working life, I've never worked in corporate accounts and stuff like that. I've never worked in practice, but I've come in and set up accounts functions from companies that are very small and watched them grow and grown with them, and equally gone into big companies and revamped their accounts function and turned it around and made it successful. So for instance, when I was in housing, it's a national housing organisation that I worked for, and the arrears that we had, especially in our section in the southeast, was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And I brought it down from something like, I think it was something like 40% down to just under 10% it was. And I did that in 18 months. And I didn't take anybody to court. I literally went around and spoke to every single tenant who was in arrears and found out how we could help them. So that was a big achievement at the time, because people said I couldn't do it, and I do like a challenge. Yeah. And then when I did it, it was like, well, you're not going to maintain it. And they didn't go back up again until I left. I moved into a different role and then I left the company. And yeah, they started to climb again because people didn't take the time to build relationships. And in any position that I've had, including in my own business, I'm really, really hot on you build the relationship with the people first. Yeah. And that's what builds the rest of your working relationship. So if you haven't got those skills, and it is a skill to build a good relationship with people, and if you haven't got those skills, well, you can learn them. They're easy to learn, but it's how do you maintain it? So taking the time to check in on people, giving them a phone call just to say how you're doing or whatever it might be. Social media, just engaging in posts on social media, which is what people do nowadays. So just checking in on people makes a big difference, and I think it sets you aside from people who are just, right, can we just do a bit of business here and then you're gone and moved away.
Okay, now imagine that I was an aspiring apprentice and maybe I'm looking to change my career and I want to become an internet marketeer. One, would you advise it? And secondly, where should I start?
I would advise it. I think it's a fantastic thing to do. I'm 55 years of age and I have found my niche, 3 years now. So when I was 52, I started. So, anybody, it's never too late to find something that you really love doing, and then you become passionate about it. So yes, I would say it's a very good environment to be working in, because there's so many things that you can do. You don't just have to do one particular thing with internet marketing. You can specialize in one thing or many things. You can get a great team around you and they can be the ones that are running all your email campaigns and stuff, but you're front of house. So for me, that's what I do a lot because I love building relationships with people. And then I've got my team behind me that are doing all the stuff that they love doing, but they don't particularly love being at the front of the house. So if you were to start, if if you're to start, find one, if you want to do any sort of marketing of any sort, then find one particular, this is my advice, find one particular aspect of that marketing that you love doing and learn it and really understand it and really make sure that you know every aspect of it.
Are you talking like a channel now? You're talking like a channel like YouTube or something like that? Or
yeah, if that's what you want to understand how to do, then understand how YouTube works, understand if you're putting a video up there, one, how you get it ranked properly, how you can maintain that ranking, and that you can do it without having to pay any money at all. You don't have to spend any money on ad spend or Google spend or anything like that. You can rank it without all of that. Then how you maintain that. So, go to people who are going to teach you that stuff, and invest in a good mentor, invest in a good coach who knows who's going to teach you anything to do with internet marketing. But I mean, I know a lot of kids know how they can find this stuff out and work their way around it. But at some point, they're going to need to know somebody who knows that much more, and can teach them that much more. And so make that investment in getting a good coach or a good mentor, who's going to teach you and push you and pull you up. And then you'll be able to be much, you'll stand out from the crowd because you'll understand that much better.
The internet marketer, how long have you actually done that for? Just that?
3 years. Just that, about a year and a half.
Okay, I mean, with the greatest respect for the two of us, we're both alongside of 25, a little bit. And yet, within 3 years, you've learned to do this and you're now teaching people how to do that. So
yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, if you'd said to me 3 years ago, if we'd met and you'd said that, I would have said, no way, absolutely no way. But it was that person at that property event who pulled me aside and said, you shouldn't be giving this information away. And so we had this conversation and, flip back to what I said before about me always wanting to be a teacher. Yeah. Well, this is one way that I can teach people. So then when I thought, okay, well, can I earn some money out of this? So we put together a little program of just how to do a clarity call, really. Nothing fantastic. Well, it was fantastic to me, but the first time somebody paid me for an hour's call, crumbs, you thought I'd won the lottery. I was like, can we book a holiday? Blah, blah, blah. You've only earned 100 quid, Irene, but it was such an amazing moment, because I just thought, I've done that once, I can do that again. And then I did it again and again and again. You just rinse and repeat. And yeah, that was the start of it. So
it sounds fun as well.
It is fun. It is fun. I love doing this. I absolutely love it. And like I say, 55 years of age, and I've just thought 3 years, I've suddenly found what I love doing. And I loved my other jobs, don't get me wrong. And if I had never if I'd never had that conversation, I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation now with you. But the world opened up. Is a different world that opens up. And I think also when you start to educate yourself, you start to read different authors, you start to listen to different people. Yeah. You see the world in a different way. Opportunity comes in front of you, and instead of you just you ignore it because you're not tuned into it. Once you're tuned into it, because you've got that different way of thinking, you see those opportunities and you think, yes, okay, well, can I do that? If I can't do that, either how can I make myself learn how to do it, or how can I put that opportunity in front of somebody else that one, I can maybe benefit from it, or two, they can just have it, but I've had the satisfaction of introducing them to something different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic as well. As you said, to do it at 55, did you say?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. I know. I love it, and I'm just so very thankful every day that I'm a Christian. So to have been able to be given this opportunity at this point in my life, there obviously is some reason for doing it, and the amount of people that I've come across, not just nationally, because I'm networking globally as well. So the people that I've come across on a global networking forums it's just been amazing. And some of the conversations I've had, some of the opportunities that have come my way to speak in front of people has been fantastic. And
the lockdown's been very good for you then?
Yes, it has. Yeah, I think it's actually pushed my business forward at least a year, because I've just had that time, especially in lockdown 1, I had that time to just really concentrate on my business. The first maybe 6-8 weeks, I was a bit all over the place because I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm not really sure which direction I'm in. So then I sat down and thought, right, okay, set yourself a roadmap. That's what you would do normally. So set yourself a roadmap about where you want to go, what do you want to achieve at the end of this period. And I achieved that probably about another 8 weeks into lockdown 1. And like I said, I think I've driven my business forward at least another year. So, which is fantastic for me. It's absolutely fantastic. Love it.
Let's move on to your
I don't like lockdown, don't get me wrong. I'm not.
No, I know that. No, I appreciate that. It's,
yeah.
Yeah, it's. Oh,
but like, the opportunity that it's afforded me.
As you rightly said before, you and I would never have met because I would never have done my online network meeting.
No.
I would never have done it this way. It's always been, and you wouldn't. We would never have met. So.
No, and we met on a skills exchange thing, didn't we? So,
yeah,
and it was just literally, yeah, I can help you. Okay, let's have a Zoom call, and that was that. And that wouldn't have happened if lockdown hadn't happened. Yeah. So, lots of things to be thankful and grateful for.
Home life. Let's move on to that. What do you get up to when you're not at work, like hobbies and holidays? And
I love baking. I'm not particularly fan. No, I don't like it on Channel 4. I don't like it on Channel 4. No, I was very much a Mary Berry person, but I love baking, and I do that a lot. So I've got, various. I bake my own bread. The only thing I don't tackle is things like pasta, although I might have a go at doing that soon, maybe. I love photography, so I will go out and take hundreds and gazillions of photos on my phone and with my digital SLR that I have. I love spending time with my family. I've got a twin sister, so she's like my best friend, but she lives 500 miles away. So we're in contact with each other every day, several times a day. So we go to see them a lot when we can, when restrictions allow. They live in, as I said, they live in Scotland. We love going to France on holiday. I love travel. It's just not always possible because with Herschel running his own business, it's not always easy for him to get, as you appreciate when you run your own business, it's not always easy to get time away. But we do try and go, if we can, we'll go to France. We love France. So, yeah. And if I had the choice to go anywhere, then I'd be going to India regardless. I'd be over there all the time. I love it.
Okay, finally, I know we don't normally do this in Ming, but the chance to sell yourself. Why should the customer come to contact Irene, and what makes you stand up or stand out? Okay. Well, if you're running your own business and you're not being visible and you're not being seen, then you have no way of bringing additional leads into your business, and you're missing out. Your bottom line is that you're missing out. So, and it's really easy to be visible. You don't have to be constantly on social media to be visible, but you do need to have a presence there. So you need to make sure that one of the things that you're doing is you choose one platform and you get to know that platform really, really well. Now, I can help you with that by making sure that one of the ways that you're visible is by having short information videos posted on your social media or on your website that help explain what it is that you do and showcase either one aspect of your business or several aspects of your business. And that will help you stand out from the crowd. It'll help you stand above the noise, particularly if you're in a crowded niche like property or wellness or something like that. And you want to be able to stand above the crowd. Video is going to help you do that, and that's where I can come in. Is it just video content, or is there also other aspects to it? I do other things. I love particularly doing short information videos, but if you want a YouTube channel set up and managed, I can do that for you. And then the videos, I can help put videos up on there for you. But what I'll definitely do is help those videos stay ranked #1 for the keyword phrase that people will be searching for.
yeah, stuff like that. So it's all about being visible, and if you're not being visible, like on LinkedIn, for instance, no point posting once a week. That's not going to do you any good. You've got to be consistent. So you're looking at making sure that you have a strategy in place, and a marketing plan in place, and I can help with that as well.
I'll put your email address on the end of here, if that's okay. I don't know whether you want to put your contact detail and contact number on there as well, then, or just an email address. But
yeah, no, just you can put my number on there. My website, I'm still working on that. Bit of a busman's holiday for me, but I do have a if you want to mark it, if you want to put my email address
all the detail on the end of here as well. But that's it, right? We're all done with those. So back to the last 5 random questions. You've done your first 5, right? If you were stranded on a desert island, I think I know the answer to this. Who would you want to be stranded with?
It would be my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If money was no object, what would you do all day?
That's really difficult, because again, it would be, I don't care what I'm doing as long as my family are with me, and that can be my extended family as well. I'm very family orientated. I think I'd just love to go out all the time and catch up with people, and go to, grab somebody's dog and go for a walk on the beach and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's the one downside. I mean, you've obviously there's obviously been advantages to your business, as we've just spoken about with lockdown, but the disadvantages is not being able to get out there and go and socialise and meet people face to face.
Yeah, definitely. And I love meeting people. I'm actually quite shy, so to walk into a room with people that I don't know, that takes a lot of courage for me to do that. If I've got Herschel with me, it's different. I'm much better. But I think now that I've gone through this with lockdown, the fact that you can walk into a room and start talking to people I'm much better with that. But if I had all the time in the world, then I'd be meeting this person and that person and going all over the place. Yeah.
Favourite holiday to date, what you've been on?
Going to India.
Okay, where did you go? I've never been.
You've never been? Oh my word! It's a beautiful country. We went to, Herschel's originally was born in Bangalore, so we went back to visit some of his family that he has still there. I mean, he's been here since he was 4. So, but some of the places that they took us to, so southern India was just gorgeous, and we went to this one place called the Nilgiris, and there's a narrow gauge railway there. It's a national heritage site, and it goes through the blue mountains, and the mountains are blue. The light turns them blue, and it's just spectacularly beautiful, unbelievably beautiful. See all the tea plantations, and it's just amazing. It's a beautiful country. I've been there 3-4 times now. It's gorgeous. Really?
I'll have to put it on the list.
Yeah, no, it's worth going to.
If you could change one thing in the world, what would you do? What would it be?
I think I would stop. If I could, I'd try and stop people being so selfish about stuff, and just to stop and think about other people for a change. Have a little bit of awareness of where people are at and what's going on in their lives, instead of being so self-centered in theirs.
Okay. And last but not least, what makes you laugh the most?
I laugh at really silly things. I get a lot of enjoyment out of just being silly. I find humour in an awful lot of stuff. My son says that I'm my biggest fan because I can just make myself crack up with laughing very easily.
You're your biggest fan?
I'm my biggest fan.
Wow.
Yeah. I love conversations where people start relating stories and then it becomes funny. I might not know that person. If you were telling me a story and the fact that you were laughing about it, I'd end up laughing, and we'd end up having that, sort of jovial conversation, even though I wouldn't know who you were talking about. So I love those situations where a good conversation over a lovely meal with people. I don't drink, so I don't have to have alcohol involved in it, but just that sort of relaxed atmosphere going on where people just enjoy other people's company and conversation. I love those. That makes me happy. It makes me laugh. I love things like that.
Well, hopefully one day you and I will actually meet face to face, because we've met a dozen times over Zoom, but we've never actually met face to face.
No, we will. We'll get to up there and down here, wherever. Yeah, we definitely will.
Fantastic. Right, we're all done. That's it. We're
wow.
we've come, I know it's gone quick. I think
it's gone very quickly.
Half an hour or so. But thank you ever so much for coming on. It's been good. It's been enjoyable. I'm learning, as I said to you before we started, I'm learning as I'm going along, and I'm enjoying it. Meet some fantastic people. But thank you ever so much for coming on. Have you enjoyed?
Yes, I did. It was fantastic. Thank you very much for asking me, and look forward to the next episode. And I'm assuming that it's not just all going to be female orientated. You are going to have some men on at some point.
We are going to have some. Have they all been? Oh yes, they have. Actually, the funny enough, the next one is female again. I think that's what it is. I think females are coming more forthcoming. I think they like to put themselves out there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, Herschel's been on the.
No, he'll definitely come on. You have to ask him. He'll definitely come on.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Lovely. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great interview. Irene, very, very interesting lady. And she also goes to show as well, but she gets to, was it 52 years old, and then she finds out her vocation in life. So fabulous. If you'd like to present at Ming, or you'd like to be interviewed under the spotlight just to showcase yourself, please let me know. All the usual emails and QR codes and phone numbers will be the end of this. So until the next time, stay safe. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.